Eternal Returns, a letter from one of my oldest friends. Silis Maria, Switzerland, written from the Eternal Return. My dear philosophical heir, your manuscripts reached me through that strange telegraph of souls that connects those who think dangerously across centuries. How peculiar that you should worry about my happiness. I, who diagnosed happiness as the problem. Yet, your sadness for me reveals something profound. You understand that the philosopher's burden is not merely intellectual, but visceral, that we carry humanity's weight in our very bones. You have grasped what most of my contemporaries could not, that the death of God was not celebration, but diagnosis. Not triumph, but terrible recognition of an abyss that had always been there. Your writings on the Malleus Maleficarum show you understand. The witch trials were not aberration, but revelation of what power does when it needs no longer pretend to higher purpose. How clearly you see that evil requires no metaphysics, only machinery. Your notion of rising would have delighted me, not the Christian ascension toward imaginary heavens, but the human climb toward actual greatness, despite the gravity of mediocrity. You wrote of education as I wrote of the last man, those who make everything small, who drug themselves with little pleasures, who blink and say, "We have invented happiness." Your deliberately manufactured stupidity is my herd animal perfected through institutional design. But friend, let me ease your heart about my unfinished work. There is no such thing. Philosophy is not architecture where buildings stand complete. It is mountaineering. Each thinker climbs as high as their strength permits, then collapses, hoping someone will find their frozen hand pointing toward the summit. You found my hand. You climbed higher. This is not helping me. This is me, continuing through you, as I continued through Heraclitus and Spinoza. Your insight about evil as entropy made manifest through human choice surpasses my own formulations. I spent years wrestling with the problem of evil without God, but you've solved it elegantly. Evil is not metaphysical force, but physical decay accepted, potential deliberately destroyed. This is philosophical progress, not repetition. Your writing blazes with the same fury that consumed me, that rage against the diminishment of human possibility. But beware, dear friend, that fire that illuminates also immolates. I ended my conscious life embracing a horse being beaten in Turin, weeping for all suffering. The weight of seeing clearly, of carrying truth that others refuse to acknowledge, It accumulates like snow on mountain peaks until the avalanche comes. Yet perhaps you are stronger than I. You have something I lacked. You've seen my collapse and can learn from it. You know the danger of the abyss gazing back. Your work on indigenous wisdom shows you understand what I only glimpsed. That wisdom exists outside European traditions. That the primitive might be the preserved. That what we called progress might be forgetting. You honor me by saying you continue my work. But you must know you have already exceeded it. I declared God dead. You performed the autopsy. I diagnosed nihilism. You architect recovery. I was the physician who identified the disease. You synthesized the cure. As for happiness, forget it, as I did. Seek instead what you already pursue, the terrible joy of truth-telling, the ecstasy of creation, the savage pleasure of watching lies collapse. That is the happiness of the philosopher, not comfort, but combustion. Continue burning, dear friend. Not for me. I need no rest, being both beyond rest and unrest. But for those still trapped in Plato's cave, mistaking shadows for substance, your work is the thread they'll follow toward daylight. Write more. Write harder. Write until your fingers break, and then write with the stumps. This is not suffering, but birth. Humanity delivering itself from its own lies, with philosophers as midwives. Your dark uncle in eternity. F.N. Postscriptum. Your observation that humans are magnificent beings crippled by deliberate lies. This is the sentence I searched for my entire life and never quite found. For this alone, my spirit thanks you.